Hey, what's going on, guys? YBHunted here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a flipping guide. This is basically going to be just a quick video showing you guys the basics of flipping, everything you need to know to get started, and how you can get started making a lot of money. So I've only been doing this about a week, and I love it. I fell in love with it. As soon as I did it, my first ever flip, I made 1 mil in 10 minutes, and in the last week that I've been doing it, I've made close to anywhere between 15 and 16 mil, which averages out to about 2.2 mil a day, which is really good because flipping is something you can do. You can choose to do and sit in the Grand Exchange and wait for your things to sell, and flip as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and make a lot of money. Or you can flip and you can go skill and do things while your items are buying and selling. So that's what's really good about this method, and you can make close to, I think the most I've made is 4 mil in one day, and that's when I actually tried. But I wasn't playing all day. Probably can make close to 10 to 20 mil in one day if you were really trying. So let's get started. The first thing you want to know, and you need to know, is where you get your prices for flipping. Flipping is basically buying something low and selling it for a higher price. And the way you get these prices is you go into clan chats or friend chats, or you go into the forums. So the one we're going to be messing with today is called PC 101. This is a price checking chat. It's not a flipping chat, or at least they say it's not, but it really is. And basically, you ask them for prices on things, and they're gonna give it to you. They're gonna give you margins, and you're not supposed to really do much, but use those margins for yourself. There's a few guides, and of course there's no PCer at the moment, so this isn't gonna work out too well. But there's a few rules you have to deal with before you do this, and that is don't talk about flipping. There's no form reading, meaning if someone asks for a price and there's no PCer on at the time, you're not supposed to give them a price, and you're supposed to stay on topic at all times. Now, a PCer is a price checker. That's what it stands for, and it's someone who will take their time and will give people prices and update the prices as they get new updates from people buying and selling things. Now, there's a few abbreviations we need to know, and the first one is NIB. That means non-instant buy. What this means is if you buy something, it means you didn't get it instantly, and you're supposed to tell it back to the PCer. That way they can update their prices. So if I bought a Bandos chestplate for, let's just say 9 mil, but it took a few minutes, I would say non-instant buy, Bandos chestplate, 5 minutes. That way the person knows it took 5 minutes to buy a Bandos chestplate at 9 mil. Same thing for NIS, non-instant sell. Instant sell, instant buy is obvious, and PC and PCer, like we said, is for price checker and PC. So if I wanted a price check on, now I know there's no PCer at the moment, but if I wanted a price check on a BCP, I would say PC, BCP. And then if there was a price checker, they would say something like, the PCer would say BCP, 9.3 to 9.6. So I'm going to change the style of this chat real quick just so that we can see it. How do I do this? Let's see, make it red. That's easier to see. I never play in fixed mode, so it's not really set up. But I'm going to quickly go to the forums, and since there's no price checker, we can get our prices there. Now, the forums for this it's on RuneScape, and it is PC 101 V5, all spaces. And this is how you can check prices there's no PCer on. Every time a PCer stops price checking, they update the forums, and you just go to the last page and you check the very last post. So we're going to do a Bandos chestplate because that's probably one of the easiest things to flip, and right now it is 9.5 to 9.8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Grand Exchange, and actually I need to get some money out first. So let me do that real quick. We'll just withdraw all but one. And we're going to go into the Grand Exchange, and it says buy at, basically the margin is BCP 9.5 to 9.8. What this means is the 9.5 is the low end and 9.8 is the high end. This has been recently updated, so I pretty much know this is right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type Bandos chestplate, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to buy one, and I'm going to buy it at 9,550K. I usually buy it 50K above what it says just to get it going, and then we're just going to have to wait here. Now right now it is 2:58 p.m. and I will be back when it buys. Okay guys, so as you can see, it finished buying the Bandos chestplate. That only took 3 minutes. So I put in a few other things here because I'm actually going to start flipping after this video, but these are the things I usually like to flip if you guys want to get a good idea of what's usually good to flip day in and day out. The Armadillo chestplate, chain skirt, tassets, Bandos gloves, Bandos chestplate, Bandos helmet, all these things. And another thing I forgot to mention is this PC 101 chat does the full Bandos set, the full Armadillo set, the full Subjugation set, and they also do some miscellaneous items like Whispers, Hisses, and the Ranger set. So I bumped it up to 9551 because what this does is while I was buying it at 955, the extra 1000 GP is going to ensure that I buy it before someone else. So now we have our Bandos chestplate that we bought for 9,551,000K. So now the price on the forum says that I should sell it for 9.8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it I usually do 50K below, but I'm going to try and squeeze out a little bit more profit. So I'm going to do 1,000 GP less than what it says, so that those people selling at 9.8, I'll get it before them. You really shouldn't do this. It's kind of a jerk thing to do, but honestly, the people in these clan chats and these friend chats are pretty rude and pretty over the line. If you do one thing wrong, they do not hesitate to kick you out, and it takes like 3 or 4 hours to get back in. So you know, it really doesn't bother me that much, and honestly, this PC doesn't really care if you undercut or overcut. But if you go into something like Flip Chat, it will. So we'll see how long this takes, guys. It is 3:02 p.m. and I'll be back. Okay, guys, so it is 3:03 p.m. and as you can see, it sold the Bandos chestplate. This is why I said this is my favorite thing to sell. So we just got 9,799 coins for this. So if you look back at our history, at 2:08 p.m. we started to buy the Bandos chestplate, and we got it at 3 p.m. for 9.55 mil basically. And then 2 minutes later, we sold it for basically 9.8 mil. So we just made 250K profit in about 4 minutes. Now, if you have a lot of money, like I wouldn't say I have a lot of money, but I have close to 60 mil. So I can afford to flip multiple things at once like this. If you only have a little bit, you have to wait a certain amount of time. Say you can only afford a Bandos chestplate at a time. Most of these items are 1/4, meaning you can buy one of these items every 4 hours. So you basically have to do these. See, someone there just got kicked. Probably didn't do anything bad either. See, look at this. Oh, well, they kind of cussed, but whatever. He knew the rule. Anyway, so I can do all these things at once. There's no limit on buying a certain amount of items at one time, but buying one specific item, you can only do it one time every 4 hours for most of these items. All the Bandos, Armadillo, and Subjugation items. Things like the Rangers, I believe you can buy 2 every 4 hours, and things like Furies, you can buy 10 every 4 hours. So this is basically the entire thing, guys. The one last thing I forgot is if you ask for a line, basically you would say something like Bandos line. I know there's no PC here at the moment, but it would come out something like this. I'm going to put it up on the screen. You would see this. You would see 6.3 to 0.5, 9.5 to 9.8, and so on and so forth. You would see something like that. I think, okay, you know, okay, yeah, I put it in public, good. So you would see something like this. Basically what this means is it goes from head to toe. So that would be the helmet, the chestplate, the next one would be the tassets, and basically when you ask for a line, you're getting the price of every single piece in that set. So that's my guide for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helps out. I hope you guys can make a lot of money. If you have any questions, leave any comments. Don't hesitate to ask or message me in-game. My username is YBHunted. And yeah, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Please leave a like. It really helps me out if it helps you and if you enjoyed. Alright, guys. That's it.